Hello there, everybody. This is Andre of GVGINU, and thank you very much for giving me your time and your ear again. I've been seeing people post around, like literally, giving a bit of a disingenuous posting. Oh, basically, a lot of news sites, gaming news sites, are using a very clickbaity article title. And the title usually reads something like Platinum Games developer says working with Miyamoto is nerve-wracking. Here's the thing. That's not what he actually said. That's the bad part. That's not what he actually said. And it's based on the source of this is a Wired article, which the title of the article is Star Fox may finally justify Wii U's weird controller. And it has a picture. This picture, I printed out the article itself, the words from the article. It has this picture on it. I'll put the link down in the description. But here's the article. Nintendo's putting most of its holiday hopes in 2015 on Star Fox Zero, a Wii U entry in a series based on a rather incongruous pairing. Wow. I don't know what was wrong with me. Like, I don't know why I stopped on that word. Fluffy animal pals engaging in high-stakes spacecraft dogfights. As you might expect from a series with such a strange combination of inspirations, Star Fox has always been about collaboration. The first game in the series was co-developed by Argonaut, the creator of the British classic Star Glider. In fact, it was a Star Glider game until Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto stepped in to add furries. I don't know why that had to be termed that way, but whatever. So it shouldn't surprise that shouldn't be a surprise that for Star Fox Zero, Nintendo has teamed up with what is fast becoming one of his closest development partners in Japan, Platinum Games, to craft this version. There's only one version of this game. That's something I don't really worry about. Maybe it should have said this vision. This is the first time I've ever done this kind of collaborative design, says Platinum Games' Yusuke Hashimoto, who also directed the last Platinum Nintendo game, Bayonetta 2. It's not just with Mr. Miyamoto, but it's also Mr. Hayashi here. He says, gesturing to Nintendo's Yugo Hayashi. Hayashi, oh no, I'm probably saying that wrong. Also in the E3 meeting room. Also working on the game. The three of us are always working together and it's very fun, Hayashi says. But obviously when Mr. Miyamoto shows you something and is like, what do you think of this? And you have to come up with good answers. Very nerve-wracking. Hell, Hashimoto didn't even say the shit. Hashimoto didn't even say it, so they're already going off in the wrong direction. It was the other Nintendo developer that said it, and that's not even it. That's not even it. They're fucking misquoting. That's not even it. I'm struck by how fast this goes, says Hashimoto. This is actually the Platinum Games director here talking. The turnaround between the exchange of the two parties is very quick. It's a kind of development speed I haven't really seen before. So literally he's agreeing with Hayashi that it could be nerve-wracking, but the reasoning isn't because of Miyamoto. It's because the process is going so fast. But he feels like he can't come up with that's literally what I'm getting from it. It's the process is going so fast. He literally feels like he can't give an adequate response in the time needed. Why was that so hard to figure out? Why was that so hard to understand? Clickbait. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the title that the clickbait articles use to point this bullshit out. I'm sorry, people. Yes, I'm going to use a clickbait title. But I'm actually going to give you worthwhile information. Nintendo's gaming Inspirio, I'm probably saying that wrong, Shigeru Miyamoto sort of unveiled Star Fox Zero at last year's E3. Wired was among a small group of media that got to play Nintendo's prototype of the game, which was designed to show how the Wii U's gamepad controller, which has motion controls and its own touchscreen, could be used to create a unique game experience. You can see your R-Wing flying craft on the TV. Flying craft. Spacecraft, or whatever, on the TV screen. But if you look down at the gamepad, you see a first-person cockpit view. Shifting the gamepad around lets you aim your targeting reticle with pinpoint accuracy without changing the direction of your ship. The direction your ship is traveling. Blah. The levels are designed to gradually get you into this novel way of playing, the designers say. The E3 demo begins with a standard linear level in which the R-Wing automatically flies forward into the horizon. This then switches to all range mode, in which you can fly in any direction in an enclosed space. It closes with what Platinum's Hashimoto calls a dynamic cinematic boss battle. On the TV, you see the R-Wing flying around a huge enemy aircraft from a side-on view. And to aim at the targets with any accuracy at all, you've got to check the first-person view on the gamepad. The ability to have both of these at the same time is a really good example of the kind of action we're going for, says Hashimoto. Throughout those sequences, you'll have different opportunities to get more use out of the gamepad, says Hayashi. You'll be required to use it more, and that was kind of our goal. Naturally, through the design of the level, you'll get used to the controls. We don't want to make it a simple game by any means, says Hashimoto. The challenge for us is how to make a game that feels good and challenging to play for lots of different people. Well, you probably accomplished that, but we'll see. Star Fox Zero, like most games in the series, shouldn't be too difficult to complete. The challenge comes when you try to get higher scores on each level. Scores on each level by shooting down more targets and finding all the secrets. At first glance, the demo looks very much like a traditional Star Fox level, says Hayashi. But you're not looking around with the gamepad. If you want to shoot down all your enemies, you wouldn't be able to do so without using the gyro controls. As with most of Nintendo's games, Star Fox Zero will have cooperative multiplayer gameplay in which one person controls the movement of the R-Wing and the other aims and fires the shots. We think it's a great mode for parents to play with their children, but basically for anyone who maybe has a friend who isn't used to shooters, says Hayashi. I would say space shooters. Who isn't used to space shooters. Star Fox has long struggled with the question of how to make land-based combat as appealing as the flight portions. For Star Fox Zero, the R-Wing can transform into possibly the goofiest Star Fox vehicle yet, a walker that kind of looks like a mechanical chicken. I kind of agree with them, it does look like a mechanical chicken. It is not a chicken, says Hayashi. I think he's a person with fits to that. I read that with a little bit of extra feeling, though. That's not how it was written. More like a dinosaur. Talking with one of the Star Fox character designers, since all the characters are animals, he thought it would be better to make this design also more animal-like. That's how we ended up like this. When you jump, it flutters its arms, Hayashi says. That was all Miyamoto's idea. Now, reading this article verbatim, Literally. Reading this article verbatim. To me, doesn't sound like Hashimoto said that working with Miyamoto was nerve-wracking. Honestly, it just... And that's in the beginning of the article. It's like no one actually went on to read the rest of the article, but they're sourcing it and not representing it well. And that's actually a pretty good article by Wired, and I think that was actually pretty nice of them to give Wired that information. But I don't know. I saw this like everywhere, and I'm like, did he really say that? And then I look at the source article, like, what the hell? This isn't what he said. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I think way too much. That's probably my point. I probably just think way too much. I think too much. I have to think too much. Because I look at this, I'm like, nowhere in there were there any complaints about working with the man. There were no complaints. Literally no complaints about working with him. But everybody who's basing their articles off of this article is making it seem like it's a complaint. So I'm like, what are you all doing? Why do you feel like you have to literally misrepresent this? Why can't you be straight up about what was said if you're giving a report on this? I'm left baffled by this. Like, seriously? And I'm trying to find a decent... I'm trying to find an article. Actually, hold on. It should be in my browser history. That I'm just going to include it in the yeah, I'm just going to include this one in the links below, where you can see the difference. So yeah, Wii U Daily. This is definitely misrepresented, because they literally say Hashimoto said it when it wasn't Hashimoto that said it. It was actually Hayashi that said it, and he works for Nintendo. like you quote something and completely misquote it. Like, this is the problem. This is literally the problem. Oh man. Like, and then the people that are responding to this is like, nobody's checking the source article. No one is checking the source article. That's this. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna use that clickbaity title. Working with Miyamoto on Star Fox Zero is nerve-wracking, says Platinum Games. That is going to be the title of this video. That is the title I'm going to use. It's straight up clickbait. Misinformation. Propagated misinformation. Like, if you're going to do something like this, and you're going to show something that's supposed to be in a negative light, do it the way that Unseen 64 Tamaki did, which was actually a pretty good report, and the information wasn't misrepresented. Do it that way, instead of doing this bull crap. Ugh. Like, so I've spelled it out for you. I'm giving you the links. You can go check the information for yourself. If you don't believe that I'm being straightforward with you, you feel like I'm being a fanboy, hey, whatever, that's your opinion. But I'm giving you the straightforward facts. Looking at things, it's pretty much being said, hey, we like working with Nintendo, but this process was fast, so it made it a little bit, you know, a little bit more difficult to give responses properly. That's basically what was said. And that wasn't even said by the Platinum Games lead developer. That was said by one of Nintendo's development staff who's also working on the game. Great job, games journalism. You let a guy like me, who isn't a journalist, do your job better than you. Thank you very much, everybody. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff. Until the next time, enjoy your games. And don't believe everything at face value. Check the sources. Peace out.